Why did Jimmy Kimmel get fired? So, not long ago, a couple hours ago, Jimmy Kimmel was ABC from the top pulled him off the show. I like Jimmy Kimmel's show, by the way. Pulled him off the show for making a comment that I heard it was not derogatory towards the decedent. The comment was something along the lines of um, the people who committed the crime, who pulled the trigger, are similar. He didn't. I don't know if he said same, but they're. I think he may have said same, but he basically said they're the same people. The insinuation was, why are they mad? It was the same group of people that committed the crime, and he got fired. Wani, what's going on with the First Amendment?
I don't know. I really am speechless, and that's good because no one wants me to talk. I'm not sure why they're really coming down hard on people for simply having an opinion. I can understand it if you are in your job jumping up and down. Say you're a nurse and you hear that this Kirk person has been shot and you start jumping up and down. That's not professional. But you can't tell people how to feel about a racist dying. You can't gaslight people. This man said he didn't believe in empathy. That means he's a psychopath. The only people who don't have empathy or believe in empathy are psychopaths. He also said that Black women were incapable of thinking. He also said that, right, tell that to the people who calculated the moon landing. And he's also got a bunch of Black women supporting him. So maybe he's right. Maybe he thinks Black women are stupid because he has Black women supporters. So I can understand it by the company he kept, that he might have that opinion. He said that Black people should be back in slavery because it was better. And he said that people have to die to keep the Second Amendment alive. So he said a lot of things that would make a lot of people with a lot of different opinions angry and not like him. Yes, there's lots of statements. Someone printed out a lot of things that he said, more than what I just said, that are very inflammatory. A lot of these guys in his circle advocate for killing all the homeless people, all kinds of things. They kind of sound kind of like Hitler. Hitler had this same vision of cleaning things up. While I don't want homeless people to lay on the street, there has to be something better than murdering them. I mean, I think we're more advanced than that, but they're not. So this is what, trying to tell people how to feel about people that have said something that inflammatory is a little over the top. But what I think is happening in some of the cases, some people genuinely never heard those statements. They just heard his Christian statements, right?
Right.
And he's been talking out of both sides of his neck, and one of the sides got blown off. So he talks out of both sides of his neck to one audience and then says a bunch of nasty things to galvanize the racism in the other audience. And then you look at it, it's like one of those pyramids. It's basically the same thing that the president has to do. He has to galvanize the base with racist rhetoric, and then behind the scenes, he funds the HBCUs. It's a very strange game that they play, but to be honest, I don't believe that the right has to play that game anymore. I think all they have to do is make America great and be sane. And the left is going to fall away. There will not be a left. There'll be two sides of the right. The side that doesn't mind immigration and the side that doesn't want immigration, and some of those types of divides that they're splitting down the center now. But the Democrats, they've spiraled into hell. They're not even in the conversation. They're not even worth arguing with. I have some great comebacks for Democrats, but they have nothing to say. So They're basically in the gutter right now.
I was watching a rerun of, I missed Tariq's show the other night, but I was watching the rerun, and Tariq Nasheed said something so interesting. I think Tariq hit the nail right in the center of the head when I'm paraphrasing him, said the issue that we're dealing with right now is the dominant society scrambling to get narrative control. And Tariq insinuated that the dominant society's power and subjugation over us and world subjugation is reliant upon the image that or the diversion that somebody else is the boogeyman. And what's starting to happen is we're calling them out. No, 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 no. Don't worry about the blacks. Don't worry about them. What are you doing? Or even better, give us a solution. Stop talking about black crime in Chicago. That has nothing to do with you. What's the solution? And we're cornering them narrative wise, and they're starting to lash out. So that means that our countering of the narrative in a nonviolent fashion is becoming effective. This lashing out at First Amendment rights is going to make a lot of people, in my pro se opinion, a lot of people rich. The First Amendment states that Congress. Well, let me look up I don't want to paraphrase the First Amendment. Let's look at what the First Amendment actually says. I've been looking at it all day. All right. The First Amendment says Congress shall make no laws respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof. So why did it do that? Congress did that because the English criminals who founded this country were, well, I don't know what to believe anymore, but the history book says that they were freeing religious oppression in England. Now, religion in the dominant society has always been used as a tool of conquest. It really never had anything to do with God, in my opinion. The English, Henry VIII, wanted to slay a lot of broads, but he was married. And England was under the domination of the Catholic Church. Therefore, they said, nope, you can't have sex with other women. You're married. And they wouldn't allow him to get a divorce. So King Henry VIII exercised his powers to get rid of the Catholic Church and install him with his own church, the Church of England, which allowed him to kill his wife and slay as many broads as he wanted. And matter of fact, ladies and gentlemen, quick lesson. The word fuck, F-U-C-K, came from King Henry VIII. Fuck was a letter that you would write to the king to have permission to cheat on your wife. Fuck is an acronym. It stands for fornication under the consent of the king. So if you want to cheat on your wife, you had to write a formal fuck letter. No shit. So I'm saying that to say that these people have never had a real relationship with divinity as most people know it. It's just all about power. And our challenge of their narrative is a challenge to direct power. But the second part of the First Amendment says, or abridging the freedom of speech. That means you can't attack somebody's freedom of speech, an American citizen, by the way. There are few exceptions to the First Amendment, like, making threats, and it's a couple exceptions, but they're very logical. They're not complex. Don't threaten a politician.
Well, these people are going to get lawsuits in their favor because they're saying things like, if you want people to speak nice about you when you're dead, speak nice when you're alive, and they're being canceled.
Well, the First Amendment, that says nothing about that. So, man, constitutional lawyers about to make a grip, boy. And then we're going to see a bunch of apologies. But my question is, where was all this high morality when people were making all these jokes about Dr. Martin Luther King? Where were all these jokes when people were making where were all this morality when people were making jokes about that child named Trayvon Martin? Where were all these, this morality when people were laughing at the fact that the police took Dylan Ruth to go get a hamburger? Ha ha ha, they took him to Burger King after he shot up a church. The hypocrisy is what drives me nuts, man. But I digress.
Well, I can say this. The dominant society is the one who continued to push it. Because we didn't do that to them. And we didn't do it just now. We could have joked around about a lot of things recently, but we didn't. They're the ones that, when one of those, one of those women died that was like 100 and some, they called her an old nigger.
Wow.
They're the ones that are pushing that. So now they're in a bind because now it's somebody that they like. They could sit up and point the finger at other people, but now, and somebody is just, somebody is that they like has been silenced right in his mouth while a dog whistle was coming out of it. It doesn't get more epic than that. The only thing that would have been better than that is a lightning bolt coming down through that tent. That would have really shut him up, talking about God all the time with the devil in your mouth.
Whoa. Well said. Dr. Ward, you want to add to this academic discourse?
Yes, good evening.
Hey.
Like the right they were complaining about there's no free speech on college campuses and stuff like that. Look, that just free speech in their minds just means speech that they like. That's what it means in their minds. You're free to say things that they like to hear.
Like Thomas Sowell?
Oh, that's Sambo. I mean, goddamn, when is that motherfucker going to die? He's like 90-some years old. But, yeah, like, there's, like, people getting fired from their jobs. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Man, I need to rant some more because I can use me some money. Because there's a law professor who just got fired at an HBCU.
No.
A white woman, a law professor, got fired at an HBCU. And I'm calling people I know, and I'm saying, hey, is this for real? Like, because I read the law, you're allowed to say what you want on a college campus as long as it's not in you can't be teaching a class. Like, if I'm teaching a class on quantum theory and I say, you know what, fuck Charlie Kirk, I can't do that.
Right.
But if I'm in my office,
that's a violation of professionalism standards.
Yeah, but if I'm in my office and I say, man, I'm glad they got that asshole. Okay, so what? I mean, because like I read the law that they say that you are free to say what you want on the campus. If you're an invited speaker on campus and you start saying nigga this, nigga that, fuck them all, kill all these niggers, hang them from the highest tree, you can say that on a college campus if you're an invited speaker. Don't say it because I'm going to break my foot off in your ass. But these people, they're so fucking stupid. They're making bitch moves, firing people because they didn't like something they didn't hear. And yeah, it's going to cost them some money. Because I said because at my job, I said some stupid shit about Charlie Kirk. It didn't get me fired, so I don't know why. But, and the thing about Jimmy Kimmel.
What did you say? You going to tell us?
Oh, I said, I was speaking to somebody, and I said, because like as he was speaking about, I said, yeah, he's speaking about black people. And right as he said it, a bullet went through his carotid artery. I said, Karma's a bitch. And
I've been avoiding it. I'm like, you know what?
Yeah. But
it's not worth the risk. I'll just,
but yeah, like as far as Jimmy Kimmel getting fired, I just think they were just looking for an excuse to get rid of these talk shows because no one is watching them anymore. And I think the production costs are getting very expensive for them. So they were just using this as an excuse to get rid of these talk shows. Because right now, talk shows are not really where it's at these days. The money's in podcasts and going and getting guests on podcasts and this, which I think is better because it's long form and it gives people an opportunity, to really express their thoughts without commercial interruptions. So I think that was a money decision, and they were just looking for a reason to get rid of him. I yield the mic.
Well, they, in my pro se opinion, they may have given him a course of legal action, though.
Depends on his contract.
Oh, that's a good point. But you know what? Let's go back to the Constitution. On the First Amendment, second word says shall. Congress shall make no law. So I don't know. That would be a strong
his
argument.
Bosses are not Congress. His bosses are the board of ABC.
Well,
on his contract?
Well, is the board of ABC bound by congressional law?
The FCC.
There you
but
go.
He didn't violate any FCC rules.
Hello. If there's an argument, it's probably going to be a settlement. Go ahead, Zakim.
Hey, family. One thing I was going to say was people going to use Charlie Kirk's own words in their lawsuits because it's evidence showing a bias. You can't use inflammatory language, and then when people respond, you try to make what you're saying different than what he said, which is, that's going to be problematic. And also, the other thing that's happening is they really trying to play this thing, making it about the left and the right as if that's what the issue is, because they trying to have this false facade. They know that gropers are extreme right-wing, but they trying to make it a left-wing thing in order to save face. On that, I yield the mic.
Yeah, what was the political affiliation of the alleged shooter?
He grew up in a Republican family, and they certify Republicans. And if people actually studied gropers and really found out what they was on, they did, like you mentioned, they are under Nick Fuentes. And the issue that they had with Charlie Kirk is that they felt like he was a sellout on the Israeli issue. And so they are extreme right wing. And, again, because what they're trying to do is paint the picture that they associate in being homosexual or have affiliation with transgenders as a left-wing thing, when, everybody knows that they got gay Republicans.
Black students, we need to know our history.
The black history we're being taught in public schools is repetitive.
As a black high school student, I want to learn more about my history in the school books.
We need to update our books.
As black American students, we deserve an accurate depiction of what history truly is.
I want to see myself in these textbooks.
In the public school system, black history is vague.
Why don't the school books ever talk about the Freedmen's Bureau? I created the workbook for the African American family. This book helps fill in the gaps that the school books don't. Purchase the workbook for the African American family on OurStoryPublications.com and use the Cash App, $Our Story Publications.